Man, you can tell that Mel has fully moved on from Coop. I mean, there is no way you're gonna fix this relationship.
Son's got a very creative mind. Maybe someday he'll make mommy and daddy a lot of money.
Daddy's in prison, and he won't be home for a long time.
My dear Lord.
You know, a murder and a road trip, you'd be surprised what happens. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for your friends and neighbors. This one's going to be doing my next review for 2 more episodes. We're going to be covering episode 5 and 6 of season 1 in this video. So, I did another batch of episodes, want to give my thoughts on some of these episodes and kind of give my opinions on it. Now, episode 5 I thought was really good. Episode 5 was a really good episode, really good stuff going on, a lot of character drama, and a lot of, good stuff happening. Episode 6 I thought was a really interesting episode with the investigation plot and everything, but there's still some issues that are going on in both of these episodes for me, but there's still some good plots going on as well. I'm enjoying the show more than I'm not. That's what's making me continue with the series. There is definitely some things, though, that I think are definitely holding it back from being a great series, but I think it's still a very good series is where I'm at with it right now. Now, here's what I would say. Episode 5, let's get into that one first. Now, this episode has a very odd opening. There is a advertisement for toilets in this opening that Nick is going over, and he has sex with Mel. That's basically the way the episode opens. So it's just like, great, my 2 least favorite characters right off the bat. You guys know I hate Mel, and I absolutely hate Nick. I think they are shitty people that do not just sense the tone, sense the room, you know what I mean? They just don't know how to fucking act. They're so immature for their age is the best way I'd put it. But that was the opening, and then basically we come back from the intro and we have Coop and Sam that are together, so they're still doing their thing. Sam ends up kind of informing him in this episode, though, that she wants to, do more, but she feels like Coop is just kind of staying in one place and he doesn't, want to proceed the relationship, so she ends up walking out, and Coop does not end up stopping her. So, he walks out, and then we have the sister that ends up imitating their sex noises at night, which I thought was kind of hilarious. And then the big plot in this one is you get the son in this one, Hunter, who ends up kind of getting into drugs and skipping school and all this other stuff. He ends up getting caught, unfortunately, because there's a girl that likes him, and she kind of lures him in and stuff like that, typical teenager stuff. And I'm assuming it's because of what he did at the party a few episodes ago. He's starting to get people that like him now, And, the girl kind of pulls him in, but then he gets in trouble. And, he's about to get expelled from school completely. And you have Coop and you have Mel that are there talking with the, principal. And next thing you know, Mel tries to bribe the principal without actually trying to use words to talk or anything else. And Coop's just like, did you really have to fucking do that, And she's just like, well, what else are you going to do? If my kid gets out of here, then, he'll lose his chance of, going to college and this and that, So I had to do something. And Coop's just like, what the hell? Like, seriously. And she's like, I didn't see you in there doing all that and talking and this and that. And I'm like, Mel, honestly, and this is what frustrates me about her. She has such an audacity given what she did to their marriage. And she treats Coop like as if he's the fucking problem. I'm like, what a, just son of a bitch. I can't stand her. She genuinely makes no sense. She changes her mind every 2 seconds. So he's, at least suspended from school. And then obviously she wants to talk to him. He's, kind of being an asshole. There's a couple scenes where he's chilling with his sister in this one, which I thought was nice. I thought that was some nice dialogue between the two of them. We haven't seen much of them so far in this show interacting, the 2 kids. So thought that was cool. So we basically continue, and you have Coop and Elena in this one, basically, that work for this guy. They basically, get him what he wants and stuff. He ends up throwing a party for them, basically, in this one, and they do, like, coke and stuff. They do, like, a bunch of drugs and stuff. This guy's wild as hell, And basically, it kind of, one thing leads to another, and they end up kind of having a good time there. But then later on, Elena kind of has a scene with this guy one-on-one, and he kind of gets up in her face a little bit, and she's like, hey, buddy, like, back off, Coop ends up seeing this and kind of comes to her rescue, and he ends up, like, just beating the crap out of this guy, and I was like, damn, this is freaking insane. So he's beating up on this guy. He's going back and forth and stuff like that. And then she kind of gets mad at him, and she's kind of just like, well, you didn't need to do that. I had it covered. And, he's like, yeah, didn't look like you had it covered to me, And she's just like, well, I can take care of myself, this and that, And she gets in a vehicle and drives away, basically. So, yeah, that was pretty insane stuff as well. I do like the dynamic between them two. I can kind of tell there's something brewing between the two of them, but I think they have a good amount of chemistry. I think them two are really good. And then the episode basically ends where we have a massive, massive storyline here where Coop goes into this house and finds Sam's ex-husband dead on the ground. And now Coop is freaking out. He's like washing his clothes, all this stuff. And that is the scene that we saw in the pilot with the bloody dead body. Well, that's who it is. It's Sam's ex-husband. So that is how the episode ends. They cliffhanger right there, and you have to kind of see what happens next. So this episode was really good. I just think, again, Mel and Nick and just some of their scenes, I don't care. They're not good characters. They genuinely drag it down sometimes, and I really am not interested in anything they're doing. Maybe we're supposed to not like them, but the way they're writing their characters, it's almost like as if you as the viewer are almost supposed to, what I'm getting out of it at least, is that we're supposed to hope that she gets back together with Coop, And I could give a rat's ass. I'm like, I don't give a damn what she does. She sucks. Like, she absolutely sucks. So I'm going to give this episode an 8.5. Really good episode. Just get rid of them two and their stupid crap, and then you're good to go. It was really good. The ending with the dead body was insane. Now, episode 6. Now, this episode was really good. This is basically now kind of an investigation episode. You have Sam that goes in for questioning. She's asked questions, obviously so, because it looks like the dead body, that was there of her ex-husband was like some kind of murder of some kind. They're investigating, and that's what they end up finding. So they bring Sam in for questioning. They don't have enough evidence to keep her there, though. So she ends up seeming kind of surprised and not guilty whatsoever. So they let Sam go. The woman then goes to Coop's house and ends up asking him questions. Same thing, nothing but, obviously he has to hide his hands because he does have bruised knuckles from beating up the other guy. So that was pretty insane as well. So, she questions him as well. Not enough evidence, basically. And then the episode kind of turns into like a family road trip, essentially. You have them kind of on the road together. They go on a trip. The kids go separately. And then you get a moment between Coop and Mel alone. And they end up day drinking together and hanging out together and all this other stuff. And while, as you can presume, they get back together that night. They end up hooking up. That's right. Coop ends up sleeping with Mel again. And I just didn't give a damn. I just didn't give a damn. I liked the episode in terms of what it did, the investigation plot, the woman going to see Nick, trying to figure out how the guy was, ended up being killed. So I liked all of those things, and I think that was a really strong plot for the episode. And I really liked the ending when Coop gets back, and basically he ends up getting attacked at the end of the episode by somebody, you don't know who it is, and then you see the guy roll down the window, and it's the dude from last episode that he saved Yelena from. So that was a really intense cliffhanger, and they kind of end the episode on that note. So now it's kind of telling you, like, okay, this guy here is going to be a problem. This guy's going to be a problem for Coop, probably going to be a problem for Elena, and it's not going to be good. They end the episode on a pretty gruesome way. They ended on a big cliffhanger after he gets attacked in the middle of the night, and now Coop knows that this guy's out for him. This guy is definitely going to be a problem going forward, and we have 3 more episodes of the season to go, so things are wrapping up, you know what I mean? But the only thing I didn't care for in this episode is just Coop and Mel hooking up. Mel's got to make up her damn mind. It's funny with Coop, I don't blame him because he probably still loves her, but she is an asshole. She genuinely is like, as soon as Nick is not around, you notice she's all in with Coop now. She's all just, oh yeah, I miss this. I miss us. I'm like, this is just pathetic writing at this point, and I don't like her character. I think the character sucks. She genuinely is interrupting a really good story with Coop and him, involved in all this crime, and Elena helping him out, and the guy putting out a hit on him, and the family life, and his son, and everything's working for me in this show. Everything is working. And then you cut to Mel and her back and forth personality, and it sucks me right out of it. So I'm going to go 8 out of 10. I still really like it. I think the story's good. I like the crime stuff. I love the investigation stuff. I think Sam, Coop, and all these other characters are really good. It just is down to Mel and Nick. I just don't care about them. So that's where I'm at in general with both of these episodes. 8.5 for episode 5 and a 8 out of 10 for episode 6. That's where I will go for both of these episodes. They're very good, but they are dragged down by Mel, in my opinion. I think her character very much kind of interrupts the flow of the story sometimes, and I find she's getting worse and worse as the episodes are going. She's not getting any better. So that's my thoughts on these episodes. Let me know what you guys think of this show so far. We'll be back with the next 3 episodes next week. I'm going to try to finish off season 1 and more batch. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys think about this show. If you've seen it, let me know what you think, of course. And what do you think of Mel? Let me know. Do you hate her as much as I do? You know what I mean? Let me know. So anyway, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe. So you don't miss any of the videos. Make sure to follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos very soon. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alleys, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.